Socialism does not give very strong incentives for people to adapt to changing conditions. Why is that the case? It might help to step back a moment and look at what might happen in a planned economy. So suppose you run a bicycle factory in a planned economy and there's a shortage of steel. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to throw up your hands and say, well, it's not my fault. Talk to the steel producers. I ordered this amount of steel. It wasn't provided. How can you blame me for not producing more steel? Now, why is there no incentive for him to say, well, let's just find a way to adapt? Well, there's a couple reasons. One thing is that if there's a good aluminum substitute, the aluminum has already been allocated. He can't just go out and ask to buy aluminum, right? He has to go to the centralized planning bureau to get it. Now, that's not such a problem with market socialism, right? But notice what's going on here, right? He doesn't have a stake in whether or not his factory produces. If his factory goes under its quota, he doesn't make any profit. Right? There's no profit or loss in this system, so it's no real cost to him. Now let's shift over to market socialism. Right? In this case, he has personal decision-making, right? And he can go out and, in some way, right, he can go out and try to buy aluminum instead and adapt. But of course, if he does that and profits are maintained or goes up, he doesn't realize that profit. Right? The extra profit would go to the community as a whole. And I would presume losses don't come out of his pocket, right? It's just a loss for the community as a whole. So that's the reason to think, no, market socialism won't give people enough of a stake in this. Right? They won't have enough of a stake in the success or failure of the institutions that they run. Right? To put it a little differently, the decision makers, right, the people who make the decisions, won't have anything personally at stake with profits or losses. Now you might say, but he'd lose his job, right? If the factory's not going to do well, he'd get fired in a planned economy or in a market socialist economy. But it's not clear that that's true. Right? In that kind of economy, what determines whether or not you stay in charge of the factory? It's how good you are at playing the political game. So if you're very good at smoothing things over with your superiors and casting the blame on someone else, right, then you're more likely to keep it. Okay? So as opposed to a free market where there's nobody to smooth things over with, right? If you don't produce, you go out of business. Right? As I said in another segment, the free market doesn't listen to excuses. Right? You can't politic your way out of a failure in quite the same way. All right. You can sometimes, right? We've seen a lot of that in recent years, right? But at least it's much less likely that you'll be able to politic your way out of a failure.